Welcome back to Speedrun Ragnarok 2024. I'm your host, One Free Fits. We are about to get into some Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX Randomizer. It's a lot of words. I feel like there's probably an acronym to shorten that, but anywho, before I kick it off, we are here raising money for Take This. Take This is a mental health nonprofit whose main mission is to inform the gaming community about mental health issues, provide education on different disorders and prevention techniques, and reduce the overall stigma around mental illness. And one of the things that you can donate towards is for us to see Marin's date. We have that open until the end of the run, but we still need $65 more to hit our goal. So get those donations in. That being said, I'm going to turn it over to our runner, warlink05, and our commentator, Darth Plainwell, to go ahead and get us underway.
Thank you, Fritz. Hello, everyone. I'm Warlink. The runner of this. The short form of this is LEDXR. And with your donation, all that stuff, our sprite for this for today is Marin. So this is basically Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom remake. Insert laughter here. But with me is Flago on the couch, help me out, all that stuff. So Flago, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Warlick?
I'm doing fine. Let's just hope that either this run will take really fast or Randall's gonna run all that stuff. If you saw Susie's run of the Link's Awakening game a few days ago, which we all saw is a perfectly programmed game, all that stuff. For this, and you're wondering, I want to see everything was not all scrambled and sprites and all this stuff. Well, good news, we're going to do that. Not in the intended order, knock on wood. So, let's kick off the run. Flago, can you cut me in?
Sure. So we're gonna get going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And also, because we're starting with Marin, Link is watching us, and he's going to start singing to us. Is this real life, or is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Anyways, our first item is the power bracelet. So Flago, as I'm going through the first checks, tell the audience about this randomizer and explain why I'm internally screaming in the inside.
Okay, in order. Answer those questions in order. LADXR is a randomizer for Link's Awakening DX, which is the updated port of Link's Awakening for the Game Boy. LADX was released in 1998 for the Game Boy Color, so all of the DX updates that are part of that game, that were not part of the original Game Boy Link's Awakening, will be here. The Color Dungeon is here, the red and blue tunics are in the pool. Warlink will probably be stumbling across medicine items that were not, I don't think, pickups in the original Link's Awakening. You had to buy those. Why Warlink is screaming internally, he's just gotten what I would refer to as the choice paralysis start, in that the power bracelet is required to get him out of Mabe Village and into the rest of the island, but in getting that first, basically a third of the island is open to him immediately, and that's quite a lot of checks to choose from, and progression could be anywhere, so we'll see.
Yeah, and also if you play multi-world with Archipelago, Link's Awakening is one of the games, and we refer to like the beginning area of the game as Mabe Jail, because at the beginning there are so little things you can do until you get stuff to open up, and Bracelet will crack open and get you out of Mabe Jail. So I'm going out. I'm doing some my non-intentional starting route. I usually go down the shore, grab up those two, grab the island, the beach, and go up. But since we get the beach, and in addition we get the to go on a date, this time instead of man keys.
Keys are always a final boss of any Zelda game.
Uh,
Especially when you don't have. Well, actually, you do have, because Warlink actually picked up the magic rod fairly early, which is kind of nice to see. In that is the weapon you would get in Dungeon 8 in vanilla, and so you don't end up using it for most of vanilla. But it is a very powerful weapon, so that is going to make a few things a little bit easier.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I need to switch over right now. I'm going to do is do all the forest checks, then return back to home, go to this beach, do those checks, and then we're going exploring on the central of the map. Like I said, there's a setup for the Marin date, but since we're Marin, who are we dating? I'll leave that as a surprise. So if you want to know who we're going on a date, send in those donations, because it's kind of, let's just say it's kind of a little bit funny. So
we just saw a fun wall clip there that Warlink did that allowed him to bypass the swamp blossoms. That was just some cool tech show off. Technically, because he has the magic rod, this is actually considered to be fully within normal logic, because you can take out those blossoms with the magic rod, with the hook shot, with the boomerang, and I believe spin slashes from the level 2 sword, as well as Bow Wow. Bow Wow is an item. Best Boy.
And boomerang.
And the boomerang, yeah.
Yep.
So that clip there is what's considered hard logic. I believe that LADXR works similarly in terms of how the logic works as the Oracle randomizers, and a little bit differently from games like A Link to the Past, in that we've classified different techniques as being considered to be normal logic, hard logic, glitch logic, or what we call hell logic, which is stuff that's just really tedious.
Yeah, hell logic is basically if you're doing hell logic tricks, it's basically you have nothing else to do, or nothing else to do, and it's like really tedious to pull off. But if you pull them off, it might open one thing, it might open up a whole new area.
Yeah. So that return home option on the menu screen is an addition for the randomizer, really, really helpful and useful. We're seeing a trading quest turn in now. The entire trading quest, which is quite long, is part of this as well. So we might see some interesting combinations of checks and rewards from them.
Man, first time in a long time, my first time I get magic power is actually in logic instead of going to the trading game and pick up my magic power.
Speaking of the trading quest, in vanilla, the trendy game is where you start your trading quest, where you win the Yoshi doll and give it to Papal's wife in exchange for the ribbon, which you then give, which we just saw that trade in there. You can also win magic powder in the trendy game though, and what that does is bypass the need to find it anywhere else as an item. But yeah, Ocarina's kind of a nice pickup there as well. It's going to unlock some checks.
Oh, before I do that, I want to show this off, because Marin, in the vanilla game, Link plays some Ocarina and it looks fine. What does Marin plays?
Very nice.
Well, it's Ocarina, but you don't know how to play it. Well, she's low tone deaf, so singing all that stuff. And just take a seashell. Want to explain why those things used to be an annoyance, but now is slightly annoyance?
Sure. So there's a location in this game that we haven't seen just yet. It's a bit further east on the island called the Seashell Hut. In vanilla, you would pick up a seashell, and it would give you a message saying if you collect enough of these, something good just might happen, which is, cryptic. I'll talk until the music starts and then I'll stop. But sorry, I can't talk over Ballad of the Windfish. Speaking of seashells, there's a location where you can trade in the seashells in the hope of finding the something good that's been promised by the game. 5 and 10 seashells will get you extra seashells, and 20 will get you the level 2 sword, which is more powerful and has more offense. Originally, the last time I did comms for Warlink, this was not the case, but at that time, the only turn-in was the 20 seashell reward, which could be any key item, and the level 2 sword is just somewhere in the pool. Now, though, 5 and 10 are also checks. Those are also potentially key items. That's a semi-recent change, and yeah.
Yeah, it was updated like a month after the last time I did this in a marathon, and it was a funny thing. It happened, and when Dade, the main like repository of this randomizer, pushed it in, he didn't like public announcing it. It was like except for the monthly that this has been pushed in. So there were people that hopped into the Discord saying, "Hey, I think I'm in soft lock because I did all the checks and I don't. There's no more checks to do. I'm stuck." And it's a combination of day 9 and now saying, "Oh yeah, the 5 and 10 seashell turn-in is now a check," and the tracker that you see on the screen right now hasn't been updated, saying, "Oh yeah, we need to update tracker," saying every time you get 5 or 10, you have to go back to turn the seashell. So it was a fun month that was thrown in.
Yeah, I got burnt by that too. And now we know. Now we'll never forget it.
Yeah, it was. I remember it was the monthly. It's the April monthly, and in the past, from what I heard, that the monthlies over the LDX. Actually, it's the Link's Awakening. Let me get the name right. It's a Z4 Randomizer server. I don't know the exact name of it, but off the top of my head, because I'm busy playing the game. Every month, they gives us a monthly, gives us a seed for the month, and it's basically something he either a new feature he cooks up or something like completely out of the box. Let's just put it this way. There was one month that at every minute of game time, every time you're in the overworld, it goes day to night, and there's a cuckoo attacks every other minute. So you have to deal with that. There was
like real life. It's
there was one month that every time you walk, you leave a pale pit and all that stuff. The few that really sticks out, he turned like this whole game this game as a Pokemon game. Basically, every time you touch an enemy, you go into a Pokemon battle screen, and it's a lot of like, let's just say there's a lot of black magic he did to pull it off, and it's quite hilarious. Quite hilarious when that pops up. It's like, well, okay, what do I do now?
right. Yeah, there's a lot of fun community antics that happen here.
Yeah, there's this month is really. I can't spoil what's this month because it's still ongoing, but let's just say I sort of called it, but not really. But not calling it. I didn't call it, but it's just basically what I said. Somewhat spoils the surprise, quote unquote surprise.
Nice boots pick up there.
Yep.
We're much like they do in A Link to the Past, except I don't know that you can do this in A Link to the Past. What we're about to see here is a different tree mechanic in A Link to the Past. We have a question in chat from Prof Ness asking if DX or the Rando fixes the issue with the original game, or Game Boy game, about needing exactly 5, 10, or 15 seashells. I believe you can go in as long as you've met the threshold, at least in the randomizer.
Yeah, and
like you could go in with 13 and it would give you the 10. And if you haven't collected the 5, it would just give you the 5 and 10 if you have more than 10.
Yes.
Or 10 or more. So.
Yeah, it fixes that. In the random, but in the random it fixes that, since you might be locked out of any potential progression item is if you overshot it, but it will stop at if I go in like at 6, it will stop at 5, and then it gives me 9, and then I have to walk in and out to do the 6 or 7 with that. But if I think it happened to me once that if I walked in with 9, I didn't do the 5 check. The 5 check was the C-Cell, that was 10, and then it automatically go up to 10 and gave me the reward for that. So it does that for the randomizer in here, so you won't skip out the reward for that for now. In the past, if you go there exactly at 5 and 10, it will give you a C-Shell, but it is considered out of logic because you have to be there at exactly that amount, if that makes sense.
So that Boots pickup from earlier has given warlink access to the southeast of the island, or actually most of the east of the island, which includes Animal Village and the desert down here. And Landmola is about to have a bad day.
Why is the Landmola? I don't.
That's how bad of a day it's gonna have.
What are you talking about? There's nothing here. It just drops an item, like so.
Exactly.
Oh, since I'm here, you might want to look in. Okay, Castle has a secret. So all the olive statues in here, in the vanilla game, it gives you like hints about the dungeon, some flavor text, and all that stuff. But for the randomizer, just like in hold on, I need you. I'll explain why I wait on that later, but in the randomizer, just like in Link to the Past, if you talk to the hint tiles, and there's sometimes they give you green text of a filler text and all that stuff, but sometimes it gives you hints of where your items are at. So that hint tells me, oh, there might be something important at Conan Castle. So if you see me stop at statues, that's the reason why. And the reason I stopped before I saving quiz is because how Link's Awakening handles money deduction and get rupees, obtaining rupees. But I'll explain more once I get 200 to do the first the 200 item in Mabi Village. So.
Cool. Just want to acknowledge 2 things. Sorry, just that you did pick up the second power bracelet already, which is an item that is required for some other checks, some of which are gated by additional items. It's going to be important for getting through Phase Shrine, which is Dungeon 6, and also a few other checks around that are intended to be later game items. Also, just, Nick Devlin in chat is pointing out that Magic Rod is super overpowered, and it is, and the Boomerang is also super overpowered, because that's the culmination of the trading quest. And you might think, well, that's like GG Warlink, you can basically tear through the seed now. It doesn't quite work like that. There are certain bosses and certain mini-bosses that require you to have the sword. So there will be, this not being a swordless seed, there will be no getting through this seed with the sword.
Yeah, there are some bosses in mini bosses and bosses that we consider as sword locks. So basically, there are some bosses that the magic rod it goes through like hot knife and cold butter, but there are some that I cannot damage without the sword.
Yep. Exactly. There is a reason those are at the end of game progression, and it's very fun to get them early game. You can tear through the overworld. You can tear through a lot of dungeons, like the most of the dungeons, but it is kind of. Oh hey.
Ooh, turn over. Okay. Now to explain why I have to wait to count up. Link's Awakening DX, as we know, is a perfectly programmed game. 200 rupees for that. I'm going to buy it, save and quit, and I just bought it, and I'm not branded as a thief. Yeah, the reason why is because Their short version, memory limitation, that it doesn't remember to deduct down, like in Link to the Past, when if you go to Zora, pay 500 rupees, and then save and quit, and when you come back, it continues to count down. For Link's Awakening, if you save and quit while it's counting down, if you stop wherever, when you come back, it just stops. So it's like I did pay 200, but I didn't give 200. If that makes sense.
He's basically stopped payment on the check.
Yeah. And also, there are for this randomizer, stealing is not considered to be in logic. So if somehow there's that 980 item is something like hard required, the game is not requiring me to like steal that item to get that item. So basically, for this whole game, I'm not branding it as a thief because, as we know, stealing is wrong. Except stealing, it's wrong, except for hearts.
It's also it's so demoralizing to get to the end of the game, and even the windfish calls you thief after all you've done for him.
Yeah.
Not only will the game not consider like the 200 or 980 rupee items to be in logic without through stealing, but it won't consider them to be in logic unless you find that quantity of rupees in chests. You are not required to. It doesn't expect you to like go grind monsters for money.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a early version of the archipelago version of it. I think it's fixed, but at a point of as soon as you have a weapon or something that is considered as a bush breaker, the archipelago expects you to have enough rupees to farm to get that. So, and there are times it happens to me twice that my logical bracelet was out on the 980 slides.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing with the shop items, because there are those two shop items that would in vanilla, that's the shovel and the bow and arrow slots, is when you get deluxe 20 rupees for 200 rupees. Because inflation is real.
Yep.
So we're in Color Dungeon now. This is not super common to see in this mode, because this is the default mode that Warlink doesn't have keys or entrance or boss shuffle on, which means that there are 2 dungeon items in here, and you'll see a lot of runners not come in here until it's completely necessary. That said, I have had important stuff in here, including 1 seed where both the bird and slime keys were the 2 non-dungeon items, so you never know.
Yeah, I'm doing this because one, like you said, most likely runners, because there are only 2 items here. Once I get these 2 items, I'm just going to book out. But
yeah, you always want to hope that they are not the 2 in the red and blue tunic spots, which you need to complete the dungeon early yet.
I usually leave the I would usually do this route and hope for that my important item is not in the Nightmare Key vanilla spot, because that's where you have to do.
That's fair too.
Yeah, and plus I have the magic rod, and since
You do, yeah.
if I
Makes a huge difference.
if I have magic rod or boomerang, I'm just going to book here because it makes these 2 bosses trivial. And plus we're slightly ahead, and I'm basically compass and map. Of course, it's a nightmare. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I'll do it.
And you never have to come back.
And plus, we can see more of the Color Dungeon because, hey, it's the Color Dungeon. And if you haven't noticed, the music in this dungeon is from The Legend of Zelda for the NES.
I'm gonna jump in with a donation here.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, sure, great.
$5 from Margaret Ann requesting a donation train to get that date. They want to know who it's with, and if Marin takes herself on a date, they love that for her too. Let me check the total here. You know, a nice $5 donation train would certainly get us there.
And
Love.
yeah, as soon as that's met, I'm dropping everything. We're picking up that person,
Nice.
and that person we're going to take them everywhere.
Yes, they will. Warlink will be taking the companion along for the rest of the seed. Prof Ness was asking in chat about what the red and blue tunics do, which is a great question. Ooh, oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of overpowered items, so this was an addition for LADX. At the end of the color dungeon, when you meet that fairy there, you are given the choice of the red tunic or the blue tunic. And the red tunic will increase your offense while decreasing your defense, and the blue tunic will increase your defense while decreasing your offense. Depending on which of those you're more interested in buffing, you can choose one of those two. And I didn't know this until recently, but you can actually go back into the color dungeon, talk to the fairy again if you want to switch them. And if you end up, let's say you find a tunic you like in LADXR, and then you find another tunic and it overrides it, you can go into any of the phone booths, which in the vanilla game are places you can go to talk to Ulrira to hear about what you might want to do next. But you can switch your tunics in the phone booths, including back to green if you want.
Yeah, the tunics are just basically we haven't encountered yet, which is surprising. I need to ask myself, why did I return to home? I have the boots. You know, I have the boots. I'm going through. This is what happens when I don't have boots this early. It's like, oh, I don't have boots. I don't have feather. I can't get the item. Get the other item. But anyways, it's basically we haven't seen the 2 items drop from enemies yet because A, I haven't used the fire rod on enemies that much, and 2, sword makes him appear, but enemies has a chance. It's not a chance. There's a formula that I don't know exactly. It has a chance to drop 2 items. One of them is the Guardian Acorn. The other one is a piece of power. Pick up the piece of power. Your attack goes up for a small time, and the Guardian Acorn, your defense goes up for a limited time. So.
Also, the music changes, and not everyone enjoys that.
Yeah. But
I did see an acorn before, but you definitely avoided it.
Yeah, there's a reason I avoid acorns over the piece of power. There's another side effect for the piece of power, is that if you do pick it up, not only your attack goes up, but you move slightly a little bit faster. Oh, and also, like I said, Link's Awakening it's a perfectly programmed game.
Let's rock for a suggestion. We'll be seeing that a lot of things you think are required are in fact suggestions.
Yeah.
As Warlink moves through this.
While I'm here, let's just grab. That's $20.
So we've taken a lot of, just for internal community use, we wind up borrowing a lot of names from the vanilla speedrun, so we still call that the heart piece of shame spot, even though it might be something really important. Like if your boots are there, you've got to take them.
Yep. My guts is saying either there's the 5 C-Star turn has something, or Kiki, that if you're paying attention the last game with Link's to Past, which the runner took the monkey, gave him 10 rupees to follow along and 100 rupees to open the door. For this game, all you have to do. So our bananas is like, oh, give it to Kiki, and prepare prepare for some fun music. Okay.
That's gonna open up a lot more.
Yeah. Still going. I'm still doing the turn in. Survey says, "Hey, another seashell." Glad we had this discussion.
1 to 10.
Glad we had this discussion. So, I'm going to. We're going to walk in here because I'm going to use that as a save and quit location for getting this item over in the moat as we swim.
This one is definitely a longer check. Definitely one. I don't know about anybody else. I tend to fade until it becomes absolutely necessary, and then I discover my feather is there, and I sigh heavily.
Yeah, usually if I go to Cohen Castle, if I have the flippers, I'll just go set the save and quit location there. Flying Rooster, okay, that's...
It's not the feather, but it will do a lot of feathery things. So in vanilla, the rooster is a friend who helps you get through Bird Key Cave on the mountain, which is where the bird key is, which allows you access to allows you to actually get into Eagle Tower. It is an item in the randomizer, and it will sometimes help you. It can be used in place of the feather in certain contexts, in place of ooh, that's important.
Yep.
In place of the flippers in certain contexts, in place of the feather plus boots in other contexts. Are we about to see the best check in randomizer?
Oh yes, yes. Since we're here, we're going to do the best check ever.
If you're not singing along at home, yes, you are. It was worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it. It's one of good things about the remake on Switch. The song for that song, the little fishes actually sing.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, every time I play that, I get that song, so get that little lyrics in. So,
you know how Warlink was saying that the game is perfectly coded and everything's fine?
Yeah, and also because they all look like, even I'm sometimes confused. By the way, my baby wants a Yoshi doll. I saw one in the training game, but I couldn't get it. Here's a fun thing. There's a reason why I'm not allowed to babysit anymore. You're supposed to give the Yoshi doll to the mom, and you get that's another chain of the training quest. But if I place bombs. Oh, okay.
Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay.
Knowing how to play with explosives will get you out of Logic Feather.
Yeah. What I just did is it's called bomb triggers. Sushi explained a little bit, but I can explain it somewhat in detail. When you load the screen, all this stuff, certain things are stored at certain events. And if you bomb trigger in this bomb trigger, which is basically place a bomb, place a bomb transition, and place a bomb within a certain frame. I think it's 4 frames. It will activate the events of turning, for the example, turning in the Yoshi doll, even though I don't have the doll. So there's going to be some instances that I'm going to do that, which makes some of the checks able to do checks earlier than I can, or do some puzzles that it's a pain to do the intended way, but it's a lot faster.
Yeah, there are certain bomb trigger moments where the game will check to make sure that you meet certain conditions, like if you have certain key items. That one is not one that requires you to have the Yoshi doll, and it's not one that would be helpful if you had the Yoshi doll, except maybe just for the swag of it. There's a pineapple turn-in elsewhere in the trading quest where it does require you to have the pineapple. And you can bomb trigger the egg open at the end without having either the ocarina or the Ballad of the Windfish song, because the 3 songs are also items. But it will check to make sure that you've met the instrument condition for your seed, and for the seed, Warlink will be getting all 8 instruments.
Yep, like I said, since if you watch Sushi's run, he did defeat all 8 bosses, but we're going to do the attend see them what it's supposed to do, but a little bit less code scramble. Oh, also I forgot to mention, usually for this randomizer, and for the monthlies and some of the races that happen here and there, they're doing it's called no woo-oop, which is no wrong warps, no out of bounds. So all the fun stuff that Sushi did a few days ago, I'm unable to do it. So either I'm not allowed to do it, or it's been patched out. For the example, the doghouse glitch, excuse me, that's been patched out from the rando. So no kernel.
So Camelot Castle has 5 checks. It would normally be the 5 golden leaves that Richard wants you to find as a trade-off for giving you access to Pothole Field. The 5 leaves are scattered throughout the seed. We saw Warlink pick up, I believe, 1 earlier. Let me just
yes.
track it real quick. And in this mode, getting those 5 leaves will cause him to move the box out of the way and let you down underground into the field, which would allow you to get both a vanilla seashell check, and the vanilla slime key location check. We might see. I think we'll probably see access to that a different way.
Yeah.
Items permitting, but rando might rando, so we'll see.
Random is gonna say, yeah, either I might do it just for the fun, or I'm in the area. But if I just want to do that area in 1 pass instead of 2, so it just depends.
Oh.
Bird key.
That's important.
It's important to our logic because I got here with the feather, and feather is behind the Yoshi doll, which I should get eventually. Return home.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see exactly how deep that Yoshi doll is buried, and how much stuff Warlink will be getting.
I need to fill up my bombs. Another thing, you see, I have 4 bombs and 3 magic powder. Another thing they added in the randomizer is this ghost, which you have to escort him around after doing D4. But after you talk to him, he will refill your bombs and magic and your arrows, bow and arrow, if you got up to 10. So you won't be like, if like those 2 are your only weapons, you're not like soft locked into can't buy your replacement, fill up your stuff. So neat little thing.
I'm gonna jump in real quick. So we got a $25 donation from Lana Bean, who says, "Thank you again for hosting a Cross Keys run again. Please do remember, no matter how your day is going, you are loved, you are valid, you are amazing, you are adorable, you are perfect." And they put that towards the Marin's date incentive, which means we're only $35 away from going on that date. So viewers in chat, let's get that's only 7 $5 donations, right? Like I think we can do that.
That's totally doable.
And doing so will get you entered in for I haven't talked about the grand prizes yet. So one of our grand prizes is this set of 4 cross-stitch kits. It looks like one of them is a Super Nintendo controller, one of them is a Game Boy OG, one of them is a Game Boy Advance, and one of them is a little Goomba guy. So very cute, very on brand for game lovers of all types. And then additionally, we have a set of 4 surprise Steam codes. So who doesn't love mystery games, that we could win? So get those donations in, and let's get that date happening and enter in for some fantastic prizes.
Cool. Even though this is still not in logic, but since I have a feather and able to full clear it, let's just do D2 first. AKA the dungeon that haunts many players' nightmares. They say, I already got the boomerang. Wait, I need... yeah.
The intended play here is the sword slash, but bombs work just as well.
Yeah, and everything else from here is out of logic because you need to jump over here.
We were talking about hell logic checks before. Wall jumping across all of those pits is hell logic.
Yeah, yeah, and it's one of those things that if you're doing it, either things go wrong, or if it got an important check, or if you're in an AP world, it's in someone's world and you can't do anything. And you did it once, and it's like, great, I'm not going to do it again because...
Yeah. Can confirm.
There are some tricks that are hell logic, but once you know what to do it, they're not that bad. But the reason they're in hell logic is because you're intended to take damage or go to 0 health but refill to full by medicine.
Yeah, the medicine in these games act in place of the fairies in other Zelda games, where if you lose all of your hearts, you will the medicine will kick in and restore them. I believe it's unique to DX. It's not in the original Link's Awakening that it's a dungeon item, or not necessarily a dungeon item, but an item you can pick up in various places. Whereas in the Game Boy version, I believe you could only get it. You could only buy it from Tracy. Or I just don't remember picking it up as a kid, but I think you can only buy it from Tracy.
I'm not sure, but because it's been a long time since I played the
OG.
The OG, because it's one of those things. This room.
Oh yeah.
To this day, I love this room. I
think that's vanilla.
Yep, it is vanilla. You know why? Because that is the last item you need to complete this dungeon, and why this room is really a meaning is it's a pain. There one of the in the vanilla, one of the idol statues tells you in the lines of to get the dungeon key, destroy the prisoner, stealth will last. And if you're a kid in the late 90s, and that's like reading a video game, who does that? And you don't read that hint, and you try to figure out why I'm not getting the nightmare key.
Especially once you have the compass, and it will tell you that there's a key in that room.
Yep.
Because, this compass comes with a new feature, as they keep telling you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is a boss that will take damage from the magic rod, despite the fact that you are not supposed to have the magic rod. And check this out.
Corners.
Cool bit of tech there with a bit of a wall flip and facing left when throwing the vase. Warlink has skipped most of the first phase, and the magic rod makes very quick work of the second phase. So, and I believe that is the second upgrade we've seen so far, because the bomb upgrade was in Hookshot Cave as well. So in vanilla, you would go into the 3 Mad Hatter underground locations and sprinkle it with magic powder, and it would get upset at you and give you some mixed messages there, but give you the ability to carry more bombs, more arrows, or more magic powder. And those 3 upgrades are randomized throughout the seed, and the 3 locations could have something else instead.
Yeah. Going back one more time, because there is one unique item left in this dungeon, and this is the one that I usually skip because it's really out of the way. Just a heart container. Do I go back? Man. You know what? Let's just pick up that. Let's just pick up that seashell from the alligator's house. That will give us 10. That will open up another check.
So we're being asked in chat how long we think it might take for someone to beat a rando who's coming at it casually. I know when I started running this mode a couple of years ago, I was coming in at like the 4 to 5 hour range. That was before I knew about the Magpie tracker, which is put together by K-Branch, and it's really great, which helps bring times down a lot. But that's certainly where I started, and now I would say I am not as fast as Warlink, and I'm usually clearing these in 2 to 2:30.
Yeah, and that sounds right. And once you know, if you're coming from when I started playing this, it's been like a long time that I played this. So the first ever marathon I ran, I did mode code on no dungeon dive, and it's just basically the mode is just basically this whole game. But every time you walk into the dungeon is just the boss and the instrument at the end. So each dungeon has 2 checks, except for D2, that chest with that chest in the beginning of the room that's there. So that's 3 checks. So basically for that mode, you can get used to how the overworld checks, how to do all the overworld checks, and then you can slowly get into how to route each dungeon, all that stuff, and then find some tricks of, okay, this is how do you do this dungeon much quicker. For example, D7, D8 has been like a bane for a lot of people because it's so long, so big and tedious to do it. But once you know how to get around fast, it's not that bad.
So here we're seeing one of the Mad Batter checks I was mentioning a minute ago.
Look at this junk you can carry. $20.
I think that's probably the most out of the way of the 3 Mad Batter.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm playing multi-world with friends, all that stuff, I usually do the outbound trick from the Mad Batter from the forest to there because it's really out of the way, and it's a pain to do that. That's the only that and the where you pick up the magnifying glass. Those are the only out of bounds tricks I do because they're really out of the way. But for the upstream and races, all that stuff, I don't do the out of bounds. But those 2 checks are like really out of the way.
Today, the Mermaid's Tail was made out of slime keys, which is going to grant access to Dungeon 3.
Dungeon 3, which, like, I can go in there, but I can full clear everything except for the boss. Because the boss is Sorlock. That's, looking at my tracker, that's 5 checks in there. Plus the bush bush just outside on the lake that I could get earlier. So at 10, a piece of heart.
And there, because Warlink had 11 there, actually we saw an example of what we were talking about earlier about how we didn't miss the boat on that item because you went past 10, because that could have ramifications.
We're going back to Animal Village to do go to the cave in the back of the village, and then go to the one item that I left because I don't have bombs. And there's supposed pit of some sort of enemy there that's... People swear there are there, but I don't see them. So... Shrug. What's in here? Not a leaf. You know what? Oh, and we haven't mentioned that because we've been talking about all that stuff. For this, for every time I ran this in marathon, I did a incentive for every time I, what I did do. At the end of the run, for every secret seashell I pick up, I'll donate $1. And if any of the levels were items for the tournaments were hard required, I'll match whatever the level is in dollar amount. So right now we're at 11. For every golden leaf I pick up is $5, and if any of the 2 items behind it, behind those golden leaves are hard required, I add another $25 to the pot. I have every guardian acorn I pick up accidentally. That's a $1. I call it $1 penalty, but it's $1 donation. I have there's an option on the randomizer to turn on and off nag messages. It's basically when you try, if you try to pick up a rock, if you don't have the bracelet on, the game says, oh, this rock is too heavy to pick up with both your bare hands, and during the usually I don't have the bracelet turned on, and there's some things I need the nag messages to turn on, but every time I do that accidentally or on purpose, I will donate $1.
And that did happen once. I have a notebook.
Oh, thanks. And I have Flaggo to keep track of me.
Normally, the intended way to do this is to approach the keyhole from the other side, but
Let's see if I can do.
we both see some shenanigans.
If I've, there we go. If I have the sword, if I had the sword, that would be a lot easier to do. Let's.
Is the dungeon where you would get the boots in vanilla, so some of these checks will be are expecting you to have those.
Also, this dungeon, this dungeon is really unique because this dungeon has a total of 9 small keys. You're only required to have 8. Because there's a lot of doors to open, and some of them are just doesn't open to anything. But wait, I can do this. Well, yeah, I can. Also, nope. Let's see. Let's see if I can. Okay, I am moving and jumping. do it one more time. There we go.
Very nice. So that was a super jump. And by adjusting your positioning, or by you know what? I'm actually just gonna admit that it's because the game the game is broken. The game Warlink has basically tricked the game into thinking he's jumping off a ledge instead of just jumping in the air, and that allows you to jump in a completely different way over stuff that you were not intended to jump over. I think we're going to see another one here as well.
The game is a perfectly coded game, and I'm just tricking it and saying, hey, I'm on a ledge. So we're at 3 leaves, so, that's... And also, if you don't have, like, key sanity, turn on all that stuff. For this randomizer, the room to the left and the room down south will always give you a small key. If you don't have key sanity, turn on. If you do, there's 2 more checks, and then you have to gamble of do I want to burn the key or not. So,
yeah. As Warlink was saying before, there are 9 keys to the dungeon. 8 will give you a full clear of all of the rooms that you need to go into. If say you come in here like with the slime keys or one of the other items is one of your last things and you are going to go mode this dungeon, you can go in and beat the boss with 5.
You can do it in 5, and if you have nagging messages on, you can do it in 4. There is one other thing. There's one trick. If there's one trick that is slightly RNG dependent, but if you're able to pull it off, and you need a sword to do it, if you're able to pull that out, that's 1 less key. Yeah, another $1.
Writing that down.
Yay.
Just gonna point something out. We've seen a few times now. We talked before about how the boomerang and the magic rod are like late game items. They're super overpowered. But you might have noticed that Warlink has always switched to the boomerang to take out those Salfos, and that is because in this game they do not actually take damage from the magic rod.
Yeah, that's what one of the people who runs this randomizer. Bones are fireproof. Just in real life.
But not like in A Link to the Past, where you can attack Stalfos with the magic rod.
Yep.
Don't think about it too much. It's fine.
Don't think about it. Just. Do this mean boss? Come on. You know what? I'm not feeling with it. Let's step away. Let's step away. Let's just wait. Let's focus our thoughts. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, let's do that again. Okay, boss is down.
It's such a good trick. This only works with this mini boss. You'll see Dodongos in a few other places in the game, but this is the only location that trick works.
Hey, but we can full clear here. And there's 2 left. We're gonna jump over here. Jump up here.
Also, we should point out that we talked about the rooster before and how it can replace or act in place of the feather in a lot of contexts. Those contexts do not include dungeons. They will include caves because the rooster's intended vanilla use was to get you through Birdkey Cave, but the rooster will not. You can equip it, but it won't actually do anything.
Yeah. I have the rooster equipped. I'm smashing B right now. Get out! Okay, that's good enough.
He stays in the menu, but our little feathered friend is just hanging out outside.
Do that. And I'm assuming I have 5. Yeah, I have 5. I'm unable to show off the cool trick. Like I said, there's a way with nagging message on. You can clip here, and if you go go diagonal left and get the nagging message just at the right moment, you can push to the left 1 pixel during the when the message pop up, and that's enough to slither over it to get to the stairs. So 1 less key, but alas. Whee!
There are a couple of other things that are also sword locked. Warlink was in a cave really early on in the Mysterious Woods, where there were some pretty nasty keys. There was a chest there that was surrounded by crystal obstacles, and those are intended to only be taken out through the sword as well.
Yeah, there's a way to super jump into it, but it's considered high logic, and you can do it, but just wait. Yep, and that's
our second instrument. It's both out of logic because we are not supposed to have that feather.
we're trying to find that Yoshi doll. This is like the brilliance of able to sequence break a little bit, because for right now it might be a while to find the Yoshi doll, but it could be somewhere really simple, like really. It's probably somewhere that I'm baiting. Okay, got the sound cue. It could
nice.
Like the Yoshi doll could be somewhere like really simple that I'm purposely fading because you might look at the face shrine for a secret. Okay. Or it could be somewhere like a really rude chain that requires you to go up to Telltale Mountain's west side. That starts a chain that goes around and gets your attendant item, but you have to go back. It's hilarious.
So we're also not supposed to be here because we don't have all the golden leaves. So Warlink did something called Villa Skip, which originated with the vanilla speedrun, where he tricked the game once again, because the game is easily fooled, into prioritizing the downward screen transition over those potholes over the falling transition as the sprite was falling, which is why he was listening for a sound cue. And in doing that, he was able to go underneath the villa. He didn't have the shovels, so the slime key location might be something he needs to go back to, but there is a chest under the house, and he was able to go in and get that.
Yeah, and if you saw me after I performed the glitch, I go down one more screen. The reason I did that is because the game still thinks I'm still falling down on that screen. So if I try to walk around and accidentally fall into a pit, it keeps me repeatedly falling in that pit until I'm either die or soft lock. I don't remember which one's which. So.
Yeah, you get stuck in an endless loop there, so that safety screen transition is very, very important. They do not call it pothole field for nothing.
I did look at.
We're about to see one of the mini bosses that is also sword locked, that he now has access to.
Yep. Another one. Two.
In vanilla, this is where you come to rescue Bow Wow, the game's best boy. Bow Wow is in the item pool, and so we might be rescuing Bow Wow somewhere else.
Somewhere else. We're not going to tell what happens when you found Bow Wow. We're going to keep it as a secret for the time being, but
that's fine. But he is in the pool, so
yep.
he's in the randomizer. Don't he has not been left somewhere else.
Yeah, and in the vanilla speedrun, when you open a chest, you usually like bring up the save and quit and exit just to skip the text. I don't do that because I want to because there is something special when you find Bow Wow, and I want to show it off because it's just something. It's only unique to this randomizer.
So we saw the good song earlier.
Now we're doing the. It's
in the interest of balance.
Yeah, and we're going to do this check, which is the most annoying one of the most annoying checks in the game because you have to go through and read this signs in the correct order. If you mess up, you have to start from the beginning.
And it's very easy to mess up. This works on a counter, so if you accidentally hit A again after reading the correct sign, it counts as messing up.
Yeah, and there is a mode for this randomizer. It's called signpost maze, and it sounds what it does. Bunch of signposts are placed all over the world, and you have to read them in the correct order. And you have to follow the exact path that it says. Since that sign says go this way, I have to go up here and start going left right there. And that goal is just basically, once you at the end, at the final signpost, it opens up the egg. So you don't have to do any of the chess, dungeons and all that stuff. You just need the stuff to beat the final area. So now we finally meet Ward on his proper sprite. Everybody ready to listen to this jam for 300 rupees? Thank you. Thank you very much.
And it was recorded. That kind of, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that takes some of the sting out of having to do this check.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than like getting down to a couple of checks and thinking, I'll just do it to get it, for the peace of mind of doing it, and then it's 20 rupees.
Yeah. One of the practices I did this week, it was down to that check or the 2 checks up in Telltale Mountains. I think the pineapple check and I think the 5 chest check or something like that is some. And I did the mountain check first. It wasn't there. The frog had my final piece to be and go, and it's kind of it's fitting.
Yeah. It's never Mamu until it is. And it's always a Mamu until it isn't.
2 things. One, this randomizer has an option to turn off flash. Turn off all the flash sensitive stuff. So basically, in the vanilla game, that whole thing is flashing. It's flashing all that stuff. But I have it turned off, so it's all black. So it's safe for your eyes. And 2, the Link's Awakening remake version of that song, it's a lot better.
It is a lot better.
Yep.
Also, bomb triggers, as we can see here, also work in the side-scroller screens. So normally you would get a fishing hook item, and you would need to be able to either jump up onto the boat or get exactly the right positioning under the boat if you don't have the feather to turn that in and get the item. But bomb triggering will do that as well, and that's a case where you don't need the actual item.
Yeah, actually, I am. Yeah, the actual item, and also what I learned this weekend, if you have Marin follow along, no, not that. When you activate the photo mouse, which is unique,
Right.
which is unique to unique to DX. If you did the first photo and he appears down there, and If you don't have a feather, he's preventing you to do the bomb trigger to do the hook turn in.
Yeah, we won't be seeing the photo mouse or the Photoshop. We might walk by it in this mode, but there is. Oh, we won't.
Okay. I say we're on a date, taking
Oh yeah,
a date.
that's
so
right. That's
so
right.
we're milking that date as much as we can. So because
normally, if you were like speed running this for yourself in this mode, you would normally not see the photo mouse because but there are just speaking of some of the different modes we have available, there is a bingo mode, and some of the bingo items can be things like getting certain photos.
Yep. Yep.
I did wonder how soon we'd be seeing Dungeon 6 because that was a really early level 2 power bracelet pickup before.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm going to show you some things that I'm going to show off some things in D6 that if I get D6 access early and I feel a little bit lucky, I might go here early because there are some things that you can do much earlier than intended. For example, I need to take care of that little Monor. And if I do that, buffer, boom. Usually you need the level 2 bracelet to pick up that statue, but you can bomb trigger to make it go away. Hooray, we got the letter.
Classic, yeah, that's an item as well. From Dungeon 5 when the intended hookshot chest that Master Stalfos stole it from.
Yeah.
If you're playing Archipelago and somebody else finds it for you, you get a message that says you got nothing from whoever.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sure, I kept the snapper.
Nice early nightmare key.
Yeah, but I'm going to full clear this since I only found 7 now. There are 6 items left. Now we're down to 5. Oh, dang.
Yeah. Although I think you haven't actually used the medicine you got earlier, and these don't stack.
Right.
So that was just more of a.
It's a gel.
I don't want to deal with these gels than anything else. It's really frustrating when you want medicine and you need medicine and then you get that.
Or you're finding your first set of bombs, like, oh, I found bombs. Nope.
No,
Yeah. And it's like, oh, now I'm sad.
Question in chat until do we have a cutoff for the date incentive?
No, there's no cutoff. The cutoff is when I beat the final boss. So that's including if I go up the stairs in the final boss. So if that incentive met before I step on the stairs, I will save and quit. We go on that date and we will refight that final boss.
Yeah, in the randomizer, you're not required, like you are in vanilla, to take Marin to Animal Village in order to get the walrus to move, and in order to get access to the desert. The walrus has already been moved, but the date is accessible at any time.
Yep. Yeah, what you just saw, he's just moved up, just one spot up.
You can still go through the scene, I believe, and still get
Yeah.
him to fall in the water, but you don't need to go through the sequence in order to get him to get out of your way.
Yeah, the day is available from the start in the vanilla game. She is available once you did the turn the honeycomb, in which the birds say, "Oh, that big blob that's blocking your way. Get Marin. Marin might help you to get that walrus out of the way." And that's your indication of, oh, well, I need to find Marin, and you get the nice sequence, all that stuff. Hey, our first song.
Can I just say that knowing that super jump is life changing?
Oh, yeah.
That enables you to skip needing a small key, which is especially handy in keys modes. But it's also just convenient.
And also this super jump right here. I think that's...
That one's harder.
Yep. You again? No. We're not dealing with you.
Yeah. Yeah. By doing that super jump earlier, that fight is no longer required.
I have to stop and think. It's like, no, these can only be deal with song number 1, not 3.
Yes.
Goma, you can use 3. If you use 2, you're going to have a bad day.
Yes, you are, because Mambo's Mambo, played on the ocarina in a dungeon, will take you back to the dungeon entrance. And a place you don't want to do that is while equipping the boomerang during the nightmare fight, because they're the same color, and equip the ocarina instead, and end up Mamboing your way back to the egg entrance. That has never happened to me. That didn't happen to me a few weeks ago. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Okay, got a small key. And there's one item left. Let's just hope that item is not at the bracelet chest, or we have to go back in one more time for it. First try. Let's go. Let's see if we do that. This might be a small key. Here, this is a small key, or the boss has a small key. Okay, correction. Either the boss has a small key. No, wait. Oh, also, don't try to jump over that vacuum. Let's try to bring you in.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. It will bring you back to the beginning.
Yeah, falling down the pit is fine.
Yeah.
Falling down the vacuum thing will take you back to the start of the...
Yeah, it's not like it happened anyway.
So by knowing the script there and exactly what the positioning is, Warlink got 3 hits in before the text box came up, so that's going to speed this fight up a lot. And we're done.
Bye, Facade. See you as the mini boss in the Oracle games. Sorry for the demotion. That's 4. And that's the last item. I'm gonna go through my tracker. Going through the tracker. I am a hookshot and the 2 other keys to open the dungeons away from ghosts. So
And still no Yoshi doll.
No
So,
Yoshi doll. I have a gut feeling where it is. I think we have to go up. We have to go up the rapids, the long way around.
Yeah, with the hook shot, you would have been able to just hook shot here from the other side, but this is the way to get back. There will be 2 chests over this ride, which also has fun music.
Yep, my gut feeling is either. Got half of my money back.
Yeah, it's free.
Swords in the key cavern, or get that bow.
Oh.
Could it be in D5?
It's possible.
Wait, no. It could.
There are some early checks in D5 that are not feather gated. Dungeon 5 is Catfish's Maw. We Whirling passed by it earlier. It is gated by the flippers, and there are a few early checks that you can get into without the feather.
But let's put it this way: if the small key is the
yes,
chest of the when you go over to the left instead of going up. If that's the small key, then the feather cannot be in there. If that's this Yoshi, if that's the Yoshi doll, then yeah, that's our logic. That could be our logic way.
That's true. That's true. So I would personally, for myself, not dive into Dungeon 5. Pun absolutely intended.
I'm going 5. I'm going to 5 just because.
Oh, it makes sense. I'm just saying generally, just to explain generally, it's one that I would hope to find the hookshot before I go in there, because so much of it is it's the dungeon where you would get the hookshot, and so you're expected to use it.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to Telltale Heights yet, because 7 kind of 7 logically requires the hookshot.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how to do Guma surfing, so yeah, I don't want to go all the way up to D7 to dip there and don't find anything. But here, this opens up 2 checks, barring if we find the small key in those first 2.
It would be pretty trolly of the sea to expect
Yeah.
you to do the very small number of checks in here. But,
Okay.
Sometimes seeds be like that.
Yep. For example, you still have that. Did I DM you that really truly they're truly yeah, there was like a really truly path of I think it's my logical way to get into D8, and we both okay. So this is hookshot lock now. Hookshot on these settings. This is hookshot lock. I can get that chest in the first chest that I passed through, but that's considered a glitch. So we're going to in my opinion, the best song in the game.
Oh yes. And in a game with Monbo's Mambo, that's saying something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a song that I'm willing to listen to on repeat because it's it's one of those. It's so good and all that stuff. I- where's boots? There's not bombs, boots. Oh, this here is where you go to the egg. This sign will tell you what's your goal. For this, it's just you need 8 instruments. If someone gives you a seed of this and doesn't tell you what the goal is, that sign will tell you what is needed to open up the windfish egg. Or if you're playing bingo, which is actually built in the game. Not you don't go to bingosync.com to generate that. It's an actual in-game bingo card that you can access at when you return to home or at that that screen where that sign is. The bingo bar is also in there.
There's also a setting when you're generating a seed to specify how many instruments. If you want to play a shorter game, you can set it down to 1, or even just have no instruments required at all. But there are also sort of kind of mystery settings that would require you to look at that sign after you get to the seed.
Or if like this one monthly that Dave did is just when you read this sign, it says, it's that day. The sign says you need question marks seashells to open up the egg, and the regular settings it's just 20 seashells to open up the egg. So everyone who is playing that monthly is like, oh, we just need to collect 20, and we go up and with 20. It plays this cutscene, doesn't open the egg. It's like, okay, we do more. There were times like people come back up there every 5 shells. It's like, enough? Nope. Try again. Want to know what's the actual answer for that monthly was? 50.
Which is more seashells than it is in vanilla.
Yeah, he replaced some of the...
I like twice as much.
Yeah, there's 26 seashells in this game. Hey, we found...
Oh, hey.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the chest that's near the cave of 5, Bird Key Cave, and under the rock, and then we're going to go down to D4 because we have everything to full clear that. Okay,
that's all of them.
Okay, now the $64,000 question. Where's my hookshot? Or more importantly, where's that Yoshi doll? This is the Cave of 5. I don't remember in the vanilla game. I think it's 20 rupees for each chest, but in the randomizer, each of those that chest will be 5 of one kind of item. We for this run, it's 100 rupees, so 500 rupees. Sometimes you get bombs, medicine, magic, or my personal favorite, a single arrow, which is also dubbed as the validation arrow, taken from Link to the Past. So you can validate your seed 5 times. It can also be
valid.
Yeah, it can also be the seashells. So that would be 5 free seashells, but the drawback is those seashells will be out of logic, but
yeah, they're not part of the pool.
Yeah.
But they can speed up your checks, especially now, like we were talking before about now that the 5 and 10 checks are could possibly have important items.
Okay, so
So Warlink picked up the tail key just a moment ago, which means he now has all 5 of the dungeon access keys and can go inside all of the dungeons. Technically, the entering Turtle Rock would be in either hard or glitch logic. I don't quite remember. Acorn.
Acorn. It is considered hard logic because I don't have the mirror. I don't have the mirror to get through the flamethrower.
There are ways
To get through it.
It can be done. It's just not considered in fully in normal logic. But since Warlink knows the tricks, he can get into all the dungeons now.
Also,
He needs a hookshot to finish dungeon 5, but
also found the magnifying glass. Also, that
another thing that's changed since the last time I did comms with you.
Yep, it's during the same time they update the seashells. They give at the shores that in the vanilla you can trade wherever item for the boomerang. Now, beforehand you just need bombs to open it up and you get whatever item right there. For this, you need the magnifying glass. I think it's one of those things that they went through and just clean up a lot of things.
More in line with
example is the pits that's in the west side of Cohen Castle. That it was originally 3 before the change. Now it's backed up to its vanilla 5 or whatever that you require the rooster.
Yeah, that comes from an era before the rooster was an item.
Yep.
So that it was changed to 3 so that you could get over it easily with boots and the feather, but now it's been returned to 5.
Yeah,
you can also generate a seed if you wanted to that does not make the rooster into an item, and that will set it as 3, so you can actually get the check.
Wait. It shuts down there as a small key. Because this requires 3, that bottom one is the 3rd one. So, what's this item? Small key, don't need it. Okay, we're just down to 2.
So as you can imagine, because of all the jumping involved in here, we're not expecting to actually find that Yoshido. Also, I think it was required to get to where the angler key was in the first place.
Yeah,
Maybe?
No.
Hey, there we go. There's our first tunic.
Yeah, it was in Telltale Heights, right?
Right.
I have the rooster, so I was able to get that. Yeah.
That's right. Okay. So you would still need the feather to get this far into Angler Tunnel, so we're not expecting to see it.
Yep. And that's the last item.
So it's looking very much like we will probably be seeing that 20 seashell turn in. So when we were explaining bomb triggering before, there was some talk in chat about bomb arrows, which is what Warren was just demonstrating there. If you equip the bow and arrow on one button, bombs on the other button, you can launch a projectile bomb, which makes a lot of fights go faster.
Yeah. Some fun facts about the original game, the original development. This was originally supposed to be a port of Links to Past, and was implementing some of the items that was dropped when making the SNES game. So bomb arrows was originally going to be in Links to Past, but they dropped it because there was no way to unequip the sword. So, where is that Yoshido?
The question we're all asking. Everything comes down to Yoshi, really. But those bushes in front of the Mabe well there will always have hearts, which is a great thing to know if you're in need of some to replenish a little bit of health. This is Dungeon 1. This is where you would get the feather in vanilla. It has Warlink has everything he needs to full clear this. It's possible to end up needing to dive it without a shield, and there is the vanilla feather check is shield lock in normal logic. There's an RNG manipulation to get around that, but
it's one of those things of
the time.
Yeah, it's one of those things of have the time and get the enemies at the right place. It won't bother you getting the check. So. There you are!
Wow.
So, require me to go to Totem Mountain to get that. Okay, down to 3.
We might be about to see another super jump here, or no?
Yeah, I'm doing that just, even though I have the keys, I do that for swag.
That's another great one to know if you're into keys modes. Let you.
That saves the key. Yep. Yep, saves the key.
There's the fishing hook that we no longer
do
because Warlink did the bomb trigger.
Is that... Are you telling me where the tail key is at? Because it's kind of...
Well, you haven't done all of Telltale yet, so...
It could be anything.
More secrets. Quick work of Rolling Bones there. And so Moldorm here is another boss that is sword locked. So this would not have been possible earlier. The red tunic helping out a bit.
Just a little bit. Oh man, I have to go back in.
Yeah, he's gonna need to check that vanilla feather location.
Now we're at 5 instruments.
Already having the feather kind of saves a little bit of time there because you can just jump over the pit instead of going all the way to the right and then all the way to the left. But, we're still looking for that hook shot.
Yep.
Right there.
You have anything? Magic powder? Okay.
Right, the game is assuming we have not been to Angler Tunnel yet.
Yeah, I think the magic power we had that I picked up was Featherlock. So. Yeah. Glad we had this discussion.
Well, now we know.
Yep.
We've solved the Yoshi mystery.
Yay.
He's a good boy, too.
Okay, now the dilemma.
Promise, I also did not know you were supposed to jump over that rolling log.
Dilemma. If no hook shot, if this doesn't give hook shot, then
There's the mirror shield. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There's one check that I purposely forgot to check before I jumped down to do D4. There. And that's the item under that the rock. If that isn't the hook shot, then that means there's something west of Toto Mountain has something progressed to get to the hook shot. Because right now, according to my tracker, I can get access to D7. It's considered hard logic. I know how to get there.
As that was the mirror shield, and you have the ocarina, and you have Song 3, you would also fully have access to.
Yeah, D8, and
D8.
the only thing I cannot get in D8 is, well, there are two things I cannot get in D8 logically, but I know one way to get myself up there, if I can remember what to do. And the other one, and the other one is I need hook shot full stop. So. This is one.
I have a very important donation here. I got to cut in.
Ooh.
We have a $35 donation from Prof NES. The comment: "Fine, fine. It is payday after all."
Oh, we're going to do it.
So we have indeed met the Marin's date incentive.
All right.
Date away.
Okay. Hooray. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. I want to check this one item that I've left, and then I need to get. It's. Come on! It's Friday night. Gotta get on. All that stuff. I had to get myself prepared for this date. So. Hey, last feather. Okay. Okay, before we start the date, we need to do something. Do something a little bit special. And if I had song 2, it would be a lot faster, but we're running. Gotta go. Pick you up. Come on, let's go.
Just gonna jump in and note that since he did have the 5th golden leaf there, that check he did under the villa with the chest, I don't remember what it was. That is now in logic, but it was not before.
Yeah.
But however, in order to do the second check there, he would need the shovel.
Yep. I just love to take pictures. Will you let me take your picture? Yep. Let's stand in front of the screen. I call this here stands a brave man or woman. Say cheese. What's your name? Marlon? Here's your woman. Let's take a look before you leave. Let's see if we fill that album out. And this is only available in the DX, and I can't believe they took away from the Switch remake and put in a dungeon maker that's kind of don't worry, that was Link or anything. Okay, now let's first, what dress do we wear? Red, green, blue. What dress
so many options.
What do I pick? Tell me to stop.
Now.
Okay, we're wearing this.
Green dress, not very nice. I actually don't know what the change, if there is one, to the date is, so I'm very excited as well.
Yeah. If you pick Age of Squirrel, the Age of Squirrel is Link sprite. Nothing is major change. Marin, there's one extra change. If you pick Rosa, there are a lot of changes, but that's another day and time. Now, people, ladies and gentlemen, and other people in the universe, our date today. Oh, Marin, I'm glad you found this place. Will you stay and talk to me for a while? Yes.
Chat donated for this. We can't say no.
I wonder where these coconut trees came from. Terran says there is nothing beyond the sea, but I believe there must be something over there. When I discovered you, Marin, my heart skipped a beat. I thought this person has come to give us a message. If I was a seagull, I would fly as far as I could. I would fly far away places and sing for many people. If I had wished to the windfish, I wonder if my dream will come true. Hey, are you listening? Marin, are you listening to me? No, not really, but we are listening. I want to know everything about you. Huh? The warriors want me to go to him? It doesn't matter. I will go with you to him. You got Marin. Actually, you got Link. Is this your big chance? Now,
nice thing with the date is that you hear the little fanfare that you would normally only hear when you get the sword
Yep.
in vanilla, which is not otherwise in this game. In the randomizer, I don't think.
yeah, no. That's like that and the song Sword Search. When you go around to get the sword, that little melody. I'm really disappointed that wasn't in the randomizer. But let's just observe the beach. This is my first walk with you, Marin. This cliff will be our secret place. Are you going to say something? Anything? Oh, how I love pictures. Why don't you take a picture when no one is around? You can call it. I'll go do this. Come see it later, okay? And yes, chat, we're going to see the pictures right before we finish, go to the last dungeon, so. You all donated this, we're going to milk it for it's all.
Great job, everybody.
Oh, I think this one. Hey, where are you two going together, huh? Oh, I didn't mean anything. I'm just a kid. Let's just hop down here. Hi, I'm the photographer. What a great photo moment. I'll call this Heads Up. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you okay, Marin? I'm fine. I'm fine. It's not a concussion. Okay, I have to make sure I don't touch that post or it triggers another picture. Hey, Marin and Marin. Which one's Marin? Are you taking pictures? You should take pictures of everyone, including me. Okay, chat. I want you to remember this image. What the all three characters look like. Their faces. Are you ready? Say mushroom. Okay, I'm done. I'll go home right now. Just remember this screen. There'll be a quiz later. Okay, and now we're going to just bring Link around for the rest of the game. Okay, what was it doing? Oh yeah, what? Back to Toto Mountains for the third time.
It is fitting that Link would get a little screen time in Link's Awakening. As a treat. I do love all the sprites that are available. The bid war that Warlink put together showcase some of them, but it's actually quite a large list.
Oh yeah, and yeah,
Always fun.
some of the sprites that are available also changed some of the
Yeah.
some of the sprites. Like the last marathon that I did, the selection was NES Link, and like all the items that we picked up are like 8-bit versions of it, and it's quite.
I was thinking about that today actually, and it even turns the magic powder into the candle from Zelda 1.
Yep. Oh, also there's don't mind pay no attention to the.
It's fine.
This is fine.
It's Lena's Inception now. If you know, you know. That wasn't a spoiler. It's just
Okay, see, everything's fine.
fine.
This is fine. The good thing going 8 earlier is that if I completed D7, the cutscene right there where Marin, or in this case Link, will be stuck there. That little cutscene of, "Hey, help me! I've been put up here. Come save me!" And you hook shot over there, and then you get the awkward moment of, will they, won't they do anything? And then Terran comes over and ruins the moment. But that only happens if you complete D7 first. Like going back to the sprites, like there's like a lot of. Most of them is just changed Link sprites. Some of them also changed other things like. Mara's now linking this one, like all that stuff. There is one sprite set that's called Meme. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but it's an adventure of what things been changed. I'm just going to leave it as that. Will I use it as a donation incentive in the future? Maybe. But I'll just leave it as that.
And that's 20.
20. Nope. We're doing D8 first. We're not.
Yeah.
If that's the hook shot,
There are a lot of checks in D8, and I think the odds of something important like the Nightmare Key being in exactly the hook shot.
That a Nightmare Key or anything that gets the hook shot.
So that was intended vanilla behavior there, using the mirror shield to repel the flames from the flamethrower. There are a couple of other ways through there that, if not finding the mirror shield would not have been a huge deal for Warlink, because if you clip into the wall and then run, you only take partial damage from the flamethrower, and he's got medicine, so that would have also...
Yeah, that's like one of the two. Clip is the most popular one, because it's just fast and all that stuff. Medicine is just basically if you don't have the boots or anything, you can or health. You're basically, the medicine helps you damage boost and have the iframes to get through it. So
we just saw the bomb trigger entry into Turtle Rock there, which was also another thing that would have been necessary if he was coming up here without the Ocarina or Song 3, but we're doing it for the swag.
Doing the swag, and plus, if you do that, and if you do the intended way, you have to fight the head, and once you beat it, it opens up permanently. The way that I do it, if you bomb trigger it, and it takes only one hit to defeat it. But if you go back out, the head is still there.
Yeah.
But what I did is, when it comes out of its not its shell, like stone and all that stuff, it doesn't have a hitbox, so you can walk through it once it slowly comes out. And that's why I usually do it. Also, D8, we're going to see, I think, almost all the mini bosses in the game.
Yeah, plus the
intended one.
the intended one who comes back in Oracle of Seasons.
Seasons, yep, Seasons.
Where he's a much friendlier person.
Yeah, which you have to fight him fist to fist to get the boxing gloves for one of your animal buddies. Oh, hey! We could... That is somewhat required.
He says somewhat because the game is totally finely coded and everything's fine.
Yep. But since we fulfill the mandate, I'm going to actually play it for once. Why? You will see. Jump.
Also, hi Raiders.
Do that. Nope. And we'll do that. Move over here. Small key. Boomerang. Do that. Flip through here. Super drop over here. And we're facing. And we're going to face the mini boss that I skipped over in D4.
That super jump allows you to completely bypass a side scroller that requires you to have the magic rod to melt the ice blocks.
Do that.
Warlink's reward for beating Cue Ball is another tile puzzle.
And I think this is the vanilla dungeon key, I believe.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in real quick and talk about some of our upcoming incentives for the next round. We still got some of this fantastic one to watch, but up next we've got Final Fantasy Mystic Quest Randomizer. Right now we have a bid war to pick the Benjamin sprite, which, let me look, scanning. Adult Radio is winning with $5. We also have a bid war to name Benjamin, and we also have a bid war to choose our partner that I think is our starting partner. I have played the Rando once, so I'm very much new. And finally, we have a incentive to randomize the Dark King sprite. All of those are going to close at the start of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, so we still have some time, but not a ton, to get some donation action in on those bids and incentives.
Awesome.
You just saw me briefly walk outside to get that Secret Tea show. One screen to the right is the last magic portal of the game. There's only 4 in this game. If I activate that, that will add more time to it adds more time of cycle through to get the right portal to get to. Usually, for this mode, we don't typically do that because that's another set I don't have the nightmare key. I have to do the intent. I have to do the right side. So we typically don't do that. Unless it's like, we need to come back here later if you're doing key sanity and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be really handy to have that portal activated with the keys mode on.
Or if you have the if you're playing the archipelago version and you have the option of there it is. But I'm going to full clear the rest of it. There's an option that I think it's called better teleport or stuff, but it's something like that. What it does is once you jump in the portal, it brings up the map screen and you can select whichever portal you opened up. So
which I believe is how the Switch version.
Yes.
does things.
And also for the Switch version, you can play. I think you play Marvel Song and you can warp it anywhere, or am I?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah, same here.
Somebody in chat knows.
Yeah, I only played it twice. Once to play it on hero mode because I play this so much, and the second time just to see something else. I don't remember what. There is something important in that hookshot chest that I cannot get. So that So logically, the Blano fight is not required. It's going to be not required because I need hookshot to get up here, but we're going to do it just because. And that chest that I said we can't do it because with hookshot, that can't be the hookshot. So that means Hothead must have something to do with the hookshot.
Probably also acknowledge that the randomizer is built off version 1.0 of LADX, and a lot of the cool stuff we're seeing here was patched out in 1.1 and 1.2. So
yeah,
if you're interested in learning these tricks, that's just a thing to know that you would need to be aware of.
Okay, so like I said, Hothead must have something to get me to hookshot. If they drop to the hookshot, it's Seed's got jokes. It's gonna be Seed's got jokes. It needs to be in the museum. From here, we're clipped over. We're clipped. Zipper jump. Boom. If I have the level 2 sword, I would show off something cool, but we don't. This is another boss that isn't sword locked. And that was a pretty fast one. Pretty fast one. There we go. We're gonna go. Okay, so I'm going to do is jump. Yeah, so we're gonna go. I'm going to is drop down to where D2 is. Go back to the mountain for how many times we're at. Do D7, and then blitz through D5, and that'll be it. And hope we find Paolo along the way, because he has to be a good boy. He's a good boy. We have to find him. does, and
Yeah, unlike your date companion, once you find Bow Wow, Bow Wow will then appear in the swamp area, but not he won't follow you around for the whole game, which
Yeah.
is unlike Vanilla, where he will follow you around until you return him back to Madame Yamo.
yeah, there is also.
I was just gonna say I didn't know this until I replayed Vanilla for the first time in a while and wound up I don't know if it's still the case, but the Vanilla strat has speedrun strategy has involved not bringing Bow Wow back because that takes time, and taking him around for the rest of the seed. And if you bring him onto the screen where Kiki is, they don't get along.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's fine. I know that back in the day when I can't find the Nightmare Key, because to return Bow Wow, the event to return him is completing D2. And me as a kid didn't read the hints to get the Nightmare Key. You can go around the west side of Mabe Village and have all that fun stuff, but you can't do anything because you have this pet following around. That's included with Richard. It's like Richard's like, yeah, can you return that foul beast away?
Oh,
Which is, oh, we haven't seen Richard. Richard is from I will get this name. I know the name, but he's a character from whom the frog bell tolls or something. Which is like the
frog bell tolls. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a predecessor of. It's like a prequel to this game, which has some of the same developers of it. So, and it's an interesting little 2D side scroller over Zelda-like game. And Richard is, I think, the little rival prince that will mock you, all that stuff. Also, when you have Marion, it's like, you want to go in there? No, I'll wait out here. Take care of yourself, Marion. And we're going D7, Eagle's Tower. If you don't know the tricks or don't have the right items when you get here, it is a pain. But if you're like me, who knows all the tricks or knows all the fun stuff, this is a quick breeze.
We'll be seeing some very, very cool use of bomb triggers in this dungeon.
Oh yeah.
Some would even say the coolest.
It's like it's one of those things. It's one of those things of once you know the trick and all that stuff, the dungeon's like, oh, this is fine. The example is Ice Palace. Do it the vanilla way, it is a pain. But once you know Icebreaker, fun dungeon. 10 out of 10. We'll run again. As long as you have the King of Samaria to do Icebreaker. Okay, I think that's all of them. Okay, we're going Blitz. Yeah, we need a buffer to, yeah, just to show off. You have to carry that metal ball around and hit the pillars and all that stuff. But we're in go mode. We have no time. Gotta go.
Who has the time? Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen Eagle Tower before. Right now it has 4 levels, and we needed to have 3. We need the rooms on the 4th floor to be brought down, which will happen when we eliminate the 4 extremely load-bearing pillars, in order to access the final boss.
Example?
Right now. It was mentioned in chat before that this was really inventive for its time, and I totally agree.
Yeah, it's one of the, this dungeon also as a kid, once after the whole D2 fiasco, it's a dungeon that it's a dungeon dungeon you're dreading to play because it's marked as that. It's considered as that dungeon. It's like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like I said, Ice Palace or Water Temple from Ocarina of Time. It's like, do I really want to do this? We don't have time for you. Oh. We're gonna do this. This room, if you know how to Goomba surf, you don't need the hookshot to get across from here, so. Okay, let's see if I can get fake floors.
This is the Dungeon 7 mini-boss there, not the eagle, the other guy, who we have not fought because we didn't need to.
Okay. Okay, I think I got... Nope. Now? There we go.
Very nice.
I was off by it.
Yeah, also a great thing to know is, about this is that, yeah, Evil Eagle is susceptible to Magic Rod and will go down in 3 hits.
Yeah.
And 3 hits means you will completely bypass, as Warlink did there, completely bypass the feather attack phase, and therefore you can do it without the shield.
Yeah. According to normal logic, it requires you to have the mirror shield, in addition to either the sword or the hookshot. But if you have a sword, it's considered hard logic, but it's not hard logic. It's going off by vanilla tech. Also, you're Leia. I thought you'd never come back. That was Link. We're going to... Yeah, we need to return back home. Actually, we have... What's the heart container in the 980?
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? Just for once, shut up and take my money.
I mean, you're on a date. You have to get them a Valentine.
Yep.
You gotta show up with the box of chocolates and the...
Oh, also, in the vanilla game, if you take, there's some other small little Easter eggs that Marion says if you do or take her into. If you take Marion into the trendy game, the vanilla game, this little cutscene is like when you talk to the keeper's like, do you want to play for 10 rupees? If you say yes, Marion say, oh, can I play? And Marion plays the trendy game, and instead of picking up one of the items, she picks up the shop owner. And then as soon as the shop owner gets dropping the chute of the prize belt, he says, "Hey, get out! Hey, that's not fun. Get out of here!" And you get kicked out. And then if you try to come back, and the keeper say, "Oh, you're still here. You're still banned from this shop." So you're basically locked out of that. But in this randomizer, that event is removed because it could be a potential soft lock because the Yoshi doll could be something else. But then again, it requires. But then again, if you can get Marin real from the start, but if you have 10 rupees and it's a quick check of just peeking in and see what that item is.
So that small key there is gating most of the rest of this dungeon, which is why we couldn't do any further dives earlier because it required the hookshot.
Yeah, and also the hookshot is required for this boss, and yeah, and there's a way to glitch through to pit hover to jump over, like pit buffering and try to get a second jump off, but oh hey.
Very nice. The game knows you're in go mode.
Yeah, like usually I said this to said this to Maddie. Also, as Isabel Cipher, one of the runners of this, and also one of the operators for the Final Fantasy one randomizer community, which is this surprisingly this randomizer is a part of that community for reasons unknown. But oh wait, I can't go there quite yet. I'm missing one little thing. Can I?
We love Maddie.
Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned to her that if I'm in Go mode or playing key setting or something like that, I forgot one thing. Can you guess what that one thing I forgot? It's not that. Hey, it's a shovel. I'm going to show off one thing.
Okay, good. I was gonna ask. I won't say what it is.
I'm going to do the thing, but there's one other thing that I'm going to do as soon as I get out. No, you don't have the thing, Self. You will get the thing next.
We got distracted by other shiny thing that we promised is gonna be fun.
Oh no, yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. So we do have to see Master Stelfos, it turns out.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The intended vanilla experience, very nice, is that you fight him. You will have to fight him 4 times in order to get the hookshot, and he is gating an item in the fourth fight location that requires you to do the first 3. But Warlink is in Go mode, so it doesn't matter.
And also, what I did is called if you bomb area him 4 times, he automatically gets defeated. In the vanilla game, you just have to bomb him 3 times and he just runs away. But if you bomb him 4 times, that's considered as overkill. And all of them except for the last one, he will always drop a small key. So if you're doing key sanity, you just need 1 small key for this whole dungeon if you have bomb arrows. And you can open up everything.
The day I learned. It's time for Slime Eel, which is another sword-locked boss.
Yep. Let's see if I get lucky.
So I'm gonna jump in here real quick. I got a $25 donation from Natara. I'm gonna make sure I read this correctly. I see Ultros for Mystic Quest. I donate to Ultros for Mystic Quest. It was in all caps. That went towards the Ultros sprite for Mystic Quest. We still have, I don't know, I would say 10 or 15 minutes at least to influence those incentives for the upcoming Mystic Quest Rando run. So get those donations in. I think there's still some opportunity to sway it one way or the other. I see a Moogle. If you're a big Moogle fan, that's a big thing there. As well as picking the partner. First donation is gonna decide that one right now, so a good one to sneak in and have it go your way.
Awesome. Slime Eel is a very RNG heavy experience, and it's also a boss where your power does not actually matter, it's the number of sword hits.
Yeah, and this is one of the bosses that you don't want to wear the rotunda, because if you attack it, it gets a small amount of iframes, so you can't get the 4 quick 4 hits on it per cycle. Okay, now we gotta do that. Now, the one thing I want to show off with the shovel. If you dig, great, dig it, dig to the center of the earth. Great, dig it, dig to the center of the earth.
Oh.
That's it.
That's not what I was expecting, but that's fine.
Oh, don't worry. Now we're
Well,
now we have all the instruments. We got instrument, all that stuff. Let's just before we go to the final, go to the egg, open it, and defeat what's inside of it. Let's just admire our small little date with not Marin. Marin, but not Marin. But Marin, but this Marin is Marin in our hearts. If I remember.
I'm gonna jump in with another donation real quick. We've got $10 from Heavenix donating to make the RPG chick take the quote best Final Fantasy treasure hunter to the Dark King. That $10 went towards Tristram as the partner for Mystic Quest Rando. I learned yesterday during the 100% run, not necessarily our favorite in terms of, I guess, power levels. So if we want to change that, got to get some donations in.
As we see, this two of the three photos we've taken with Marin. I'm really disappointed this wasn't come back in the remake. So, yeah,
that was cursed.
yeah. Okay, and remember what the photo with Terran looks like. Okay, this is the photo that we got. Oh, who else but Terran? Terran the forever third. Oh, don't. Okay,
Fine.
but that's
don't
fine.
worry about
But
it.
this don't worry. This is not Smash Brothers. Green. And usually I do the bomb trigger for this because it is a lot faster to do it instead of play the amp and all that stuff. But there's a reason why I wanted to do this. Not very good. Huh? What? Did I say something? No, you're hearing things. That message plays every time you play song 1. So. Okay.
We'll hop in again here real quick. We get a $5 donation from Kaverick. And they say, I see LADXR, I donate. And also I see in here names I know, which is nice. Thank you for your donation.
If you've played vanilla, you know that you can, once you have the magnifying glass, you can go into the library and find out the super secret path to the nightmares in the egg. But there is also that path that will always work unless you look at that book. And Warlink did not look at that book, so left, right, up, right.
Yep, it's only for this randomizer, because it's random in the vanilla. I think. Yeah, it's random by.
Okay.
Yeah, it's random. I think. I know the Switch remake is random. It's randomized unless you see it correctly. And I could have tried bomb spam to skip the text, but it gets rid of the music right here. It is quite bopping. And now Aghanim. How we fight Aghanim? With the best weapon in the game. Shovel!
So it really was two things with the shovel he was going to show off.
Yep.
We faked me out real good there.
Okay. Aghanim, are you going to be nice today or not? That's
So far, so good.
that's 40, love.
This is very it's functionally similar to the equivalent fight in A Link to the Past. There is no lightning phase, which is nice, but
Yeah.
not bad, all things considered. My record's 14 on the non-reflectable.
Yeah, there is a way to get all orbs every time, but it requires to do the bomb strike to skip the text and also be at the right spot. Obligatory again fight.
Okay, good. This is where I once equipped the ocarina and worked myself out here.
Yep. And here is Deathel, the final form. Can be hit by 3 things. Bombs if you're desperate. Not recommend for my turn. Arrows or a boomerang to the eye. Okay, and get ready for time.
Yeah, time is when the screen goes white.
Yep. And time.
GG.
Woo.
Great run.
Yep. And the only appearance of the owl. So that is Link's Awakening DX Randomizer. It is something completely different if you've been playing Link's to the Past so much that you're burnt out and don't want to try to push yourself into it. This is a fun, like, palette cleanser, and with different modes and all that stuff, it's quite fun.
So unfortunately, we did not find Bow Wow. But that was, I believe, that was Deathless. So we will be seeing something cool.
Super secret special, because if you're playing this randomizer, you want to play this Deathless because in the vanilla game you get reason because in the vanilla game you get a message from the developer saying thank you for playing this game. While that pulls up, I'm going to pull up and try to figure out where Bow Wow was.
If I were gonna guess, I would say he was probably in one of the chests that was not needed after warlink hit go mode in the dungeon. Because we were leaving a lot of stuff behind there.
Flying bomb chest east. So if I continue a little bit further into D5, I would have got him.
Okay.
He would have been the second chest, second check.
Wait, so it was like this whole game was just a dream?
Spoilers.
What about the people that like we met and like had an impact on us along the we went on a whole date.
We did. There's let's maybe just all watch the credits.
But there's the windfish, so it couldn't have been a dream. It was real. Because we met them.
223. That was what I was expecting, especially when you have to go pick up Marin and the multiple dips into in the mountain.
Yeah, you'll also see that there's not a whole lot of discrepancy between the in-game timer and the real-time timer, because the in-game timer will keep going through soft resets.
Yeah.
So while it is a minute and 6 minutes off, it's still you will see a greater discrepancy in other randomizers.
Yeah. Also,
because of how those games are coded.
Yes, and the funny thing is, Dave mentioned it up because one of the texts, there's a in the Discord channel. There's text suggestions where you can suggest different texts for Marin to say at the beginning. One of them I put a bunch of like Taskmaster related ones. Like one of them was "Wake up the windfish." Fastest person wins. Your time starts when you start the file. And Dade replied back saying, "Fun fact: this timer doesn't actually start until Marin's pop-up message shows up. So there's like a 6-second difference. So from real time, and then the rest of the time is just probably lag. It's all counted lag and all that stuff. So lag and resets and all that stuff. So that is Link LDX. Do you have any final words before the super secret awesome thing shows up, Flagel?
Just thanks for having me, Warlink. I always have a great time. Thanks to the RPG Valkyries and Speedrun Ragnarok was always a great time. Saw lots of interest in the community and chat, which is really exciting. Great people, great randomizer. Please do check it out if you're interested.
There's a Discord. It says Zelda 4 randomizer, which was originally for the OG version, but it's been taken over the LDX one because it's the more work upon version of it. So come on, if you find this, give it a shot. It's quite fun. And your reward for being deathless is this little cutscene.
She got her wish.
Yep.
But
oh, we got the OG.
very nice.
Oh, I was hoping for that. Many months ago, Dade, this is Neon. Dade's the lead developer randomizer. One of his cats, and when he was looking at the code, this the original version with the message saying thank you for from the message from the developers, he found out that was just basically an image file, and he's wondering, can I inject an image in there? And he figured it out and just basically put one of his cats, Neon, in as a reward for finishing the game deathless. And a few months ago, one of his other pets, cats, I forgot the name on the top of my head, was recently passed away. He was going to immortalize them in the randomizer. At that point, he just said in the Discord, "Hey, runners of LDXR, send me your pictures of your cats." And everyone posted their picture of their cats, and a few of them, someone posted their rabbits and all that stuff. I put in my parents' dog in there, so it's one of the random things that you see when you play Deathless. You get a random picture of one of the runner's pets, so it's quite funny. We got an OG because for the longest time, Neon was Neon, the Neon cat, the cat with the Pop-Tart that poops rainbow image like 10 years ago. Man, I'm old. 10, 14. I don't. Time is a construct. So, yeah. So that's your reward. So that is everything I have to say. So like I said, thanks for the Valkyries for accepting this run. It let me run this. It's quite fun. I will run it. We'll run again next year if it's get accepted. Probably different settings, all that stuff. And thanks Flago for being on the couch as my co-pilot and able to decipher all this stuff that I was going through my head. So as I have, Yep, that's everything I have. I'll throw it back to the host and to take us off to a break. So go right ahead.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you very much. I've been your host. One Free Fits is the end of my hosting shift. We'll go into a little bit of break here, and coming up next, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest Randomizer. I'm excited for that. I will be when we get back. We will have the incredible, the fabulous Natara as our host, and the RPG chick as our runner. I look forward to that, and thanks for letting me come and host. I had a great time, and I would also do if you would have me.